Well, it happens to be a holiday. I didn't know that. I got up, got ready for work, did the whole 9 yards. So I've spent the day doing nothing, and it was everything I've ever imagined it to be. It's actually my usual time, about 4. Apparently I'm on a set time, just like this old guy. All right, I've been making up voices for Hank, and I'm pretty sure he sounds like this. What do you think, Hank? Is that a Hank voice?
From the early 20s. My name is Hank. Old Hank, they called me. Got a little Katharine Hepburn in there. Hank, you got 50 minutes probably, brother, before it's dinner time. I don't know what do you want to do with those 50 minutes. If I were you, I would go outside and, eat grass. That's what I would do. Just gonna fall asleep. Just sleepy bye.
All right, kind of a shameful performance today, but it felt wonderful not to do anything. Let me get working on the blocking and the rafters, though. That sounds like a good thing to do.
Well, even though I'm getting started a couple hours late, I really have to tell you that the break was delicious.
Right here where the slope of the roof is getting weird, I'm not going all the way in. You can see that there's some gaps in there. Now that's still okay. Everybody can relax. I'm gonna, they're still mounted on one side, but I can't make them go all the way there. So on the top of that 6x6, I'll end up doing a little scarf out on a board and sticking it in so that my drywall will fit in there, and then I'll have a lip for my drywall. So I'll custom cut all those. But these aren't looking too bad overall. I mean, I can hang drywall on it. And then any place where there's a gap like that, see, I still have to run some lights, but I don't have the Romex. So I'm not too alarmed by having some gaps in here where, I can run some Romex through it. So no big deal. The structural part of these is in, the loading the rafters, but 2, making sure that the roof doesn't cave in as I'm pouring concrete on the roof. So they'll be shimmed up and in place, and all will be well. All right, so as you can see, even though most of the dimensions are the same on the roof, a 19.5 between the 2x4s when they're flat, all of that is so that I can nail up 5/8 inch drywall on the ceiling. I will insulate the cavities. The temperature in here, although I'm looking pretty hot, is really just what the outside temperature is. The InfraStop got rid of the radiant energy, so it's no longer a cook box, but it's still hot and it's still humid in Texas, and I'm definitely feeling it. So, these things in my mind, I'm funny. When I used to go on vacations a lot, I would book 5 things to do in one day and then get 1 and 1.5 done. And I always live bigger than I am. And that's a little bit what this thing is. I say, I'll wake up, I'll put in all the blocking. I wake up that way, and 3 days later, I'm still working on blocking. Each one's a custom cut. I have to go up and down a ladder. I have to walk out. 2 are so much better than 1, I'll tell you that. So, I'm getting there, just persevering. I just wanted to be done in, 6 months, and here I am 10 months, and I'm still not living in this part of the house, which is my first goal. So we'll see. So each one of these blockings, you'll see they pound in. Now those on the end don't go all the way to the end because there's a pitch to the bathroom. There's a pitch to the bathroom rafters, and that pitch makes it so I can't fit in a standard 2x10, so I cut it a little short. I don't care because I'm going to reinforce right up in there anyway, so for the drywall, so it'll end up having a connection. In addition, that's plenty of surface area from there to there supporting the roof, right? So when I pour concrete, I feel pretty good. Each 4x4 post I think will do up to 8 tons center load, so as long as I don't have them offset, centered or anything. Listen, they're not going to be 8 tons of concrete on the whole thing, and I've got 8 tons per section, right? And then some of them I stiffen. Now, the reason I stiffen these parts is because behind this wall will be a stairs that'll go up.
and the stairs will be of adobe tamped earth. And I just want everything to be structurally sound down the middle of the Connex. I don't want any bounce. There's a little bit of a bounce now, but when I get done, this thing will be rock solid. So I'm going to guess 40 minutes maybe or so. Hank usually bugs me by now for me to do 6, 7 of these, 2 rows. I've got 1, 2, 3 left. So maybe by the end of the day, I'll have all the blocking in. But that looks a lot straighter, really nice. Once I get the blocking in, it's beginning to look like a real construction site. Alrighty, this is my little private road. And this is where the UPS guy leaves stuff. Ta-da! Sometimes you don't even see it. Today I did. Anyway, I needed all this stuff for the insulation. I'm moving on to another project, but this should get me through the insulation install. So, there's a lot of systems for people to finish out the inside of a shipping container. And the only reason why I went this complex is because I am going to have a poured concrete patio, and that patio is going to capture the water and run the water out to my tanks. And so I've got to have a right pitch. I've got to have something solid. And I want to tie in the hyper adobe on the outside to the roof so that it's a solid shell. So should this container ever rust out in 1,000 years, it won't matter. The hyper adobe will be there, and it won't. I would expect the concrete to wear out, patio to wear out before the hyper adobe. Hyper adobe is just dirt that'll be plastered, right? And the cedar's not going anywhere. So I'll in-seed it when I'm done. Everything's treated, and feel good about this work. I need a drink, though, as you can see, of water, so I could continue on and finish up the rest of this. So, whew, man, each one of these is custom cut, and I feel it. Well, just like that, the Memorial Day weekend's gone, and I picked up an extra day. I slept in today and did nothing. It was everything I've ever imagined it would be. But the last 4 hours of the day, I went ahead and worked in the Connex. Forever rinse and repeat doing the same thing, blocking in rafters. But, I'm getting there. So I have one last row of rafters to block in there. And then I have the front part of the Connex. Now, this will be my grand exit balcony for my master bedroom. And there'll be French doors cut in there, and there, external French doors. And so I'm going to keep these doors active, but I'm going to skin them in a way that you'll think they're Spanish Mission. Maybe I could just antique this and make it look bars and stainless. What do you think, Hank? We don't know. We haven't seen. I haven't put in the... I do have the doors there, French doors, but I haven't put them in yet. I think it'll look pretty good. So then the end here will be skinned in cedar and look really appropriate for an adobe house. All right, so all my neighbors are having fun. I can hear them having fun. I guess sleeping in was my fun. Just checking the microphone. It's still on. All right, like, subscribe, follow me along. This is Steve, 1,000 Year Homes. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and glad that I got this all, as much done as I did, which wasn't much, but a little.